For this review of SSI's new strategy war sim, Steel Panthers, we've fueled up the IE Sherman tank to cruise around in.
Steel Panthers shows that no one can put together a war sim like SSI can. Not only do they put together a game that plays great, but the graphics are incredible as well. Make a right turn here.
All too often we play war sims that, even though they play well, they are, how shall I put this, attractiveness challenged.
They're ugly!
But Steel Panthers has it all. It plays great, and it's surrounded by layers of gorgeous graphics. Hey, what's that siren?
I'll go up top and check it out.
Hey, it's a cop. Hey, cop, look at me. I'm Michael Dukakis.
What's he want?
Probably a donut.
Why don't you ask him what he wants?
Hey, cop. What?
Step on it, he wants us to pull over.
Steel Panthers is a strategy war simulation spanning all of World War II on both the European and Pacific fronts. The action is at the squad level, so you're in charge of individual tanks and groups of infantry.
It's a hex-based game that, turn right here, that's very easy to play. One army moves and fires, and then the other army moves and fires. Hey, is that cop still back there?
Maybe we should pull over.
Pull that lever there. Steady, steady, stop. Now push that button there.
What's it for?
Just push it! Now we can continue.
Thank you. Steel Panthers may be an easy game to learn and play, but that doesn't mean it's shallow. Most of the ground units that participated in the war from all the major countries are represented in Panthers. There aren't sea units involved outside of transport barges.
As far as gameplay is concerned, Steel Panthers is nothing new. It's hex-based with all of the movement and combat based on values given to each unit and terrain space.
We've seen it all before, but Steel Panthers has a surprising amount of depth to it, making it more fun to get into. The more you play, the more you learn, the more it becomes, hey, look over there.
Where?
Over there. Pull over, pull over.
Hello, lady.
Oh, please. What do you want?
How would you like to go out?
Why should I, a very attractive, wealthy supermodel, go out with you? A very, you.
My natural Mel Gibson-like charm?
Oh, please.
I'll give you a ride in the tank.
I have a Ferrari.
Did I mention I write for IE?
Ooh, you write for IE. I've always dreamed of meeting an IE writer.
I write too.
Shut up.
What are we waiting for? Let's go!
Anyway, you play individual scenarios which last a certain number of turns, and points are awarded to each side for accomplishing things like casualties and conquest.
But the side with the most points at the end of the scenario is not necessarily the winner. If one side wins by a margin less than 2-1, then the battle is considered a draw. A margin greater than 10-1 is a decisive victory, and anything in between is a marginal victory.
Not only do you have to win big in order to gain a victory.
Even though Panthers is done in much of the same style as Panzer General, the actual battles are much more involving. Squad-level combat allows for more finesse and overall control of your forces.
Instead of each unit just having one shot per turn, multiple shots can be taken and the player can specify which shot can be fired at which enemy. Uh-oh, looks like a traffic jam.
Hey, we're in the IE Sherman tank, buddy. Those cars aren't going to stop us, just go over them.
You're right. Hang on.
You also have to worry about which direction your unit is facing, since most units, specifically armored units, are more vulnerable from the rear.
This gives a real feel for combat because you really start to think in the same terms as an actual soldier on the battlefield. The game may be just a basic move and shoot strategy game, but Steel Panthers is very, very involving.
The real star of this game is the graphics. I've never seen a strategy war sim with graphics like this. The terrain is very impressive, and the units are very sharp and detailed.
Winter scenarios are difficult to play in, since the movement range of each unit is represented by light-colored hexes which get lost in the white background of snow.
Other than that, these graphics rock. When a tank gets blown up, it just sits there and burns, which is a great effect after you wreak havoc on the enemy's tank columns.
The same goes for buildings that get shelled, and after a particularly good battle, the battlefield is left in smoking, potholed ruins. I get the warm fuzzies just thinking about it.
The only graphic feature I wasn't crazy about was when a plane came in for an attack. The computer screen is centered on the plane while the attack is carried out, but instead of smoothly scrolling through flight, the plane very quickly pops from one hex to the next, creating a very confusing effect.
There was a real problem with this game, but first, I'm hungry. You guys want drive-thru?
Darn tootin', buddy.
Sir, I'm afraid you'll have to leave. The drive-thru isn't tall enough for your tank.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that. Hit it.
The funny thing about the biggest problem of Steel Panthers is that the trouble wasn't even in the game. The biggest flaw was the manual.
In the forest of documentation, this manual is a shrub. On the Hollywood Walk of Fame, this manual would be Ernest Borgnine. If this manual was a video game, it would be Mabuse.
Now, that's a bit much. I mean, nothing is that bad. But you're right when you say that the manual is just not good. It's not laid out well at all, and there's no index of subjects in the back. Trying to find an individual piece of information is next to impossible, and that's assuming that it's included in the manual at all.
SSI had to append a 9-page README file on the CD to cover all the stuff that was either wrong or left out.
Once you learn the game, it's a blast. Anyone who enjoys a good strategy war sim is going to thoroughly enjoy Steel Panthers. But World War II history buffs are going to fall in love.
There are a ton of historical scenarios to get into, and you can play either army. Several different campaigns are included, which string together several scenarios on either the European or Pacific front. The player sets up a core set of units to take into each battle, and the campaign only goes as well as the individual battles.
Hardcore gamers are really going to get into the random battle generator, which sets up scenarios according to a set of customizable parameters like weather, visibility, and units.
The die-hard gamers are going to freak over the map editor. With this feature, any gamer can create any battleground in history or imagination. Steel Panthers was designed for maximum replayability.
And talk about easy to use. There's a toolbar on the right of the screen with all the available tiles. All you have to do is click on the tile that you want and put it down on the map.
And there's tools which make this even easier than that, like the tool that lets you put down multiple tiles of the same type at once. If you like absolute control, you'll love this.
Steel Panthers is a very well-rounded war sim with super gameplay and graphics that steal the show. It's incredibly easy to play, but has enough depth to really get into.
With the ability to customize scenarios, campaigns, and maps, it'll be a long, long time before Steel Panthers even gets close to becoming boring.
Hey, mister! Hey, mister, can we have a ride on your tank to school? We missed our bus!
Why sure, kids. Climb on.
It may not be the most sophisticated World War II sim ever developed, but that means diddly. Panthers is historically accurate for you history nuts, but it's very gratifying.
It's crazy fun.
It's so freaking fat with a P.
Well, it's just been a while since I've been addicted to a strategy game like I'm addicted to Steel Panthers. If you enjoy strategy war sims at all, Steel Panthers is a game you must get. Yes, hail to the tank driver man.